Hey, seventh grade. Happy Tuesday. Quick note before we start that if you're watching this in the morning, I will be on our middle school Facebook Live today at noon to say hi. And one of the teachers is going to be on the live every day, Monday through Friday at noon. So if you have access to Facebook or you want to hop onto your parents' account or if you have your own, you can join us there. We can answer questions, just say hello. Feel free to share pictures or comments about what you guys are up to. We'd love to stay in touch. As you get going on your work today, I want to send a quick shout out to Lily, who emailed me yesterday to let me see what she was working on, and she got hung up on a couple of those antonyms from the crossword puzzle that you guys were doing about word meanings in your vocabulary book. So if that's also something that you got hung up on or you had ones that you couldn't figure out, please do email me. I would love to look at what you have and help you figure out what to do next. So I'm on email every day, lsmallwood@mylegacyschool.com. Today in vocabulary, you're going to be looking at specialized and generalized meanings. And specifically in your lesson, what they're talking about are words that originally started out with a very specialized meaning in math. So, for instance, one of those words is acute, which you probably know from previous math lessons that acute usually refers to a certain kind of an angle. But it also, because we're talking about an angle, it's like an angle that's really sharp or really small. And so acute has begun to take on a broader meaning in not just math, but it's also a term that's used in science and now in medicine. We might talk about an acute infection, and that relates back to the original specialized meaning that the word had in math. So you're going to look at that as you go through. And again, if you have any questions, one, use your resources. So do feel free to look up dictionary.com or anything else to find word meanings. And two, if you're not sure, email me. I will be able to email you back probably within about 15 minutes, and I would love to check in and see how you're doing. Okay, then after you get through vocabulary, your lesson for writing and grammar today is to continue on in dictionary skills. And specifically what you're going to do is they've given you a Z page of the dictionary with some really interesting Z words. So you're going to look at how in the dictionary, they don't just tell you how the word is spelled, but they also break it down for you on where the syllable breaks are in a word. And so they're going to ask you to go through and look at how many syllables do different words have and how can you tell where those syllable breaks are. You'll use the dictionary page to see that, and it should be pretty obvious. There's little dots at the syllable breaks. Then finally, they're going to ask you about different pronunciations. I thought I might do one of those with you because they're a little strange. So the first one says, how do the two pronunciations of zebu differ? And then they want to know, is it the Z that's different? Is it the B that's different? Is it the U that's different? Or is it all of them? So of course, then I'm going to flip back, look down at the word zebu, which is about halfway down the column on the right-hand side. And then you'll see in parentheses, right after Z-E-B-U, they have two different ways that you can say it. And so the first one is sort of zebu, and the second one is zebu with a Y sound in it, even though there's not a Y in the word. So it's either zebu or zebiu, which means that the Z stays the same, right? The B stays the same, but what's changing is that last sound, that oo, so I would put C for this answer. You're going to go through and do that using those extra pronunciations for the other 5 words. And then tomorrow we're going to finish up dictionary skills with the following 2 pages, 342 and 343. Finally, you get to finish your story today, the Scarlet Ibis. And I wonder what you thought about the 2 things I asked you yesterday, which were symbolism. How does the author use a symbol, an object, an item, a person, an animal, to stand in for something else? And the other question was, how does the author use symbolism and other elements of the story to foreshadow what's to come? So I wonder what you've been noticing as you read about symbolism and foreshadowing. I'd love for you to email me if you have some ideas. I also found the story on YouTube, just an audio version of someone reading the story. So I'll post the link to that. If you don't feel like just sitting and reading by yourself, you could turn that on and then just sort of flip through your book while you hear the story being read. And then when you finish, you can take your quiz. The answer key is available in the Google Drive if you want to grade it, or you can send it to me and I'll look it over. We can chat. And I would really love if you do decide to email me to hear about those two things. What are you noticing about symbolism, item, an object, a person, an animal that stands in for something else? And foreshadowing, how does the author tell us about what's going to come by the things that the hints they give early in the story? Hope you guys are doing well. We'll talk to you soon.